The transfer window is open and already we are seeing links left, right and centre to Nottingham Forest. Welcome to your transfer news. Good morning, good evening or good night. Hope you guys are doing well and welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest transfer news. Coming up in today's video, we'll be talking about old flames and should you ever go back to an ex. We'll be talking about a defender potentially departing. We've got some good news on a winger and plenty of other stuff to get into. If you're enjoying the transfer window being back open, don't forget to hit that like button. If you're still smiling from the Man U result, hit that like button and make sure, of course, you are subscribed. Let's jump into this and let's kick this off with the old flame. And this old flame is none other than Keylor Navas, who was at Forest, obviously, as we all remember last season, played from January onwards and obviously made a great debut performance. If I remember rightly, it was against Leeds, keeping a clean sheet. However, he played 17 times for the Reds and let in 32 goals in total, and has been back at PSG, his parent club, where he hasn't got a sniff in behind Donnarumma. And there is talks that there's been contacts made between Nottingham Forest and PSG to see if this deal can be made. Now, whether this would be a loan deal again or potentially a permanent deal, because he didn't have long left on his contract even when Forest signed him up last season, we don't know yet. We don't even know how strong the sources are, but there's a lot of internet chatter about it. Now, would I take him back at Forest? No. I'm sorry, I can't forgive that Brentford performance. For me, Navas had cat-like reflexes, but my biggest gripe with him last season was he would always parry the ball back into the danger area. Never flick it behind for a corner, never catch the ball and what have you. It was always straight back into play. And that frustrated the crap out of me. Now, you could argue, is he better than Matt Turner? Yes. Is he better than Vlachodimos? I don't really know, man. I still need more of a sample size with Vlachodimos. But you can see his experience and he does have that presence and his distribution is definitely better than Matt Turner. But 32 goals conceded in 17 games, that's a lot. That's a lot for me. That's nearly, what, 2 a game, if not more so. So I don't want him back. I think we can do better. There are other loan or free options Forest I think should be trying for. And we'll do a whole video on this in the next coming days. But you could look at De Gea. Look, De Gea was on 400k at Manchester United, but he's a free agent. In fact, maybe not 400, a bit less than that. But, you know, he comes as a free agent, therefore there's no transfer fee. And De Gea technically is broke right now in terms of his wage slip because he's not getting paid from Manchester United. Therefore, he can't demand as high a salary. Now, De Gea comes with his own problems. His distribution is atrocious. He makes huge errors, but he also pulls off worldies. But there are other options, and as I said, we'll bring it all for you in a video in a couple of days. But let's focus back on Keylor Navas. I want to know from you guys, would you take him or not? Let me know in the comments down below. I think this one might be a little divisive, but what do I know? All right, let's talk about one of the players who's, well, no surprise, there's been plenty of rumours about him leaving Nottingham Forest, and they're starting to get a lot stronger now. And that is, of course, Scotty 2 Hottie McKenna, who was shunned out by Steve Cooper due to contract negotiations, which clearly have fallen through. And he has 6 months left on his current deal at Forest, and is therefore currently right now free to speak to any club to join them under a bossman in the summer. However, it's in Forest's best interest to sell him off, even if it's, you know, for a packet of crisps. It's better than nothing kind of thing. He's not really been featured that much since, when was his last game? I think against Chelsea, still under the Cooper regime. Nuno hasn't named him on any kind of bench or in any squad so far in the last 3 games, and it's clear he's not in the plans. And this is what we're going to be seeing a lot of in January. These fringe players, these peripheral players being moved on, and moved on as quickly as possible. It's actually better not to have to sell them at their full market value valuation because we get to clear their wages off the books as well. Now, Scotty Too Hotty isn't exactly, Ronaldo size in terms of his wages, but they all count. If you think that the average salary at Nottingham Forest currently is somewhere between 20 and 30,000, if you move 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 of these players out of the 42 odd that we've got, then you're saving hundreds and hundreds of thousands per week. So it actually benefits the club. And if you can get a transfer fee for them, so much so the better. But this one will be at a cut deal. And there is interest up north, back in the homeland in Scotland, from Celtic, where Brendan Rodgers seems to be a bit of a fan of McKenna. And why would he not be? To be fair to McKenna, look, I don't think he is an out-and-out Premier League player. I would say he's somewhere in that zone, isn't he? Purgatory between the Premier League and the Championship, which is probably Scottish football. Actually, Scottish football's probably on par with the Championship. So he would work, I think, quite well at Celtic, especially in an attacking team like that, where he won't be playing low block football and being defended against an attacks on 24/7. So I actually see this as a good fit. Apparently there are talks going on between Forest and Celtic currently to see if this can be done and gotten over the line. Brendan Rodgers is looking to strengthen his defence, so I think this will happen in January rather than see them go through the Bosman deal with McKenna. But would you guys keep McKenna, as I hit the mic, or would you chuck him onto the bomb squad? Let me know in the comments. Let's move on to some good news, and that news is that Gelson has been confirmed, and Gelson has been signed, but not to Nottingham Forest. He's gone to the Greeks, he's gone to Olympiacos, and thank you for that. Because as you may or may not have been able to tell when we broke this news to you some point last week, I'm not his biggest fan. I was his biggest fan maybe 3 years ago. He was quality, but he's done nothing in football since then. And him going across to Olympiacos probably makes sense. Now, let's get conspiracies out right here. And why not? I like the idea of this. And I'm going to mention the name Podence. With Gelson coming in, who potentially can play in that Podence position, and Podence being on loan to them from Wolves, could we see a switcheroony with Podence coming to Nottingham Forest to be reunited with his old boss Nuno? It would take a lot of moving pieces for it to happen. The loan would need to be cancelled. Would Wolves want to strengthen potentially a rival who are close to them in the Premier League? Would Podence want to do it? Probably, because he wants to play back under Nuno. Do we forgive him for spitting on Brennan Johnson last season? If he comes, yes. If he doesn't, then no. So there's a lot of moving parts in this. And this is a deal that I would like to see happen. Now, there's no real talk of it, but I'm just trying to play a couple of steps ahead and reading into this Gelson move to Olympiacos. Now, he was heavily linked to Forest last week. I think even Romano was tweeting that it was basically deal done. But it looks like his flight got diverted across to Greece. So are you happy that Gelson's not coming? And would you take Podence? Be it on loan, be it we have to buy him from Wolves, whatever. We've done business with Wolves. We've done it twice last year with Morgan Gibbs-White and Bolly. So why not make it a hat trick? Let me know in the comments down below. Alright, there are loads of other stories and rumours going around. As always, we will keep you posted on them as they start to break and as we start to hear whispers about them. So stay tuned. I don't want to make this video any longer. There's probably going to be another transfer video this afternoon. So make sure you are subscribed and you won't want to miss out on it. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And we'll see you this afternoon on the next video. Come on, you Reds.